Now we have to create the code for this app. Before that, see how the code needs to be created. Let's click the close button again and go to the home screen. The first display is the home screen. When we click on one of the 4 buttons on the home screen, namely tic-tac-toe, paint, draw path, dots and boxes, we need to store in a variable which variable we clicked. At the same time, the canvas screen needs to be displayed. Okay, then let's create the code for this part now. I go to this blocks tab. First, let's create a variable to assign the button to be clicked. I drag an initialize app variable to code block here in the variables group. The name of the variable is given as an option. Here we assign a word in the option variable. So we need to drag a create a string variable. We know that string variables should always be given in inverted commas. So let's link here a code block with a pair of inverted commas under the text. Now, when you click on one of these 4 buttons, you need to assign that button in the option variable. First, let's consider the case of clicking the button that is displayed as tic-tac-toe or button XO. Click on button XO from components and drag a when button XO clicked code block like this. Next, a set app variable option to the code blocks in variable is dragged into this when button XO code block. At the same time, the string value called XO should be stored in the options variable. I connect here a code block with a pair of inverted commas in the text and give the value as XO. Since there is inverted commas in the code block itself, even if it is a string value, we don't need to type the inverted commas here. Just assigning this value is not enough. Meanwhile, the canvas screen should be displayed. Let's drag a navigate to code block in the control group below the set app variable option to code block. Click on this arrow and select canvas screen as the screen. Okay. We have now created the code for clicking the button XO. Next is the button paint. You need to create the same code for this button as it was created before. You may remember that we learned an easy way to create the same code repeatedly in the previous lesson. Yes, we can duplicate this code blocks. I will right-click on the when button XO click code block here and duplicate it. Okay, now in this way, I got some new code blocks. Here the button is changed to paint and the value to be assigned to the variable is given as paint. Okay, now let's duplicate these code blocks again for clicking the next button. As before, right-click on the when button XO click code block and duplicate the code blocks. Next, the button here is set as the button path and the value assigned in the variable is set as path. There is one more button. For that, let's duplicate this code block once again like before. I will select button D and B from here and give dots here. Okay, now we have finished creating the code for the home screen. Let's go back to the design tab.